So fashion technology simplified. In the previous video, we looked at how Bloomingdale's was able to increase their incremental revenue by $20 million by enriching their product data. So let's take a look. That's Bloomingdale's, but how do you discover if you need to enrich your product data? So today we're going to walk through 5 steps to show you how to discover if you need to enrich your data and then how to set up a test run regardless of which tools you end up using. So those 5 steps end up being: first, you need to determine and identify the need. That do you even need to enrich your product data? Then you create a sample set. You set up a baseline of key metrics like search results, click-through rates, define what your success metrics are going to look like. And once you've implemented the product enrichment data, you look at the results and see if they actually worked for you, if it didn't work for you. So let's go through these steps more in detail. So let's look at the first one, which is identify the need. So let's go to Macys, for example. So if you go to Macys has a lot of stuff for men and women. And if on Macys, I'm searching for men's black sports coat for the evening. So these are my previous saved searches that I was just searching for a few minutes ago. So that gives me 46 search results. So as you can see, even the first 3 search results that came, they're not relevant to what I'm looking for. So I searched for men's black sports coat. So these two are clearly sports coats, but they are not black. This is black, but this is not a sports coat. This is actually a tuxedo. As I scroll down, this is a sports coat. This is a tuxedo. This is not black. So even when I'm landing on Macys page, even though it shows me it has found 46 items, as I'm looking through the search results, there are hardly any that are related to what exactly I was searching for. So as a consumer, this is not a good experience for me, because if I look through here, I'm like, the Macys apparently don't have those. Now I bounce off to other sites like Zara or whatever I need to go to, right? So let's give Macys one more chance. So let's say if I'm looking for a floral loose spring dress. So if I search for this, now it only gives me 4 search results, which is interesting. So it only shows me 4 dresses, but I'm pretty sure Macys have far more floral loose spring dresses than these 4. So another way you can look into is sometimes people even spell the words wrong, right? So let's say if I spell loose with 1 O instead of 2, does that change any search results? Oh, interesting. So if I actually spell it wrong, I get 5 search results. If I spelled it right, I actually got 4 search results. So now I got these 5 dresses, which are floral. But let's see if I completely remove the word loose from here and I just search for floral spring dress, and wow, there are 193 items. So think about it from a user experience, that if a user is searching, and users are not going to give any website this much amount of time by searching with different search terms here. They're going to look once or twice, and if they don't find anything, boom, they're bouncing out to some other website and you're losing business. So clearly Macys has a need to enrich their data so it matches the search results. So how do you determine? So one simple thing I would tell you, if you have a website, start noting down what people are searching for, what kind of terms they're using here to search. So any type of search tool you're using, it should be able to give you a list of all the search items. So you can, and then you can have your marketing intern or somebody in the marketing team search for those items and see if people are searching for this particular term or this query, are the results matching? So if you're selling Macys, you're selling floral dresses, you can look for if the search term is floral loose spring dresses, even though you know you have over 100 plus items in there, is the search result only giving 4 items or 5 items? So that's a big red flag that your product data is not enriched to match what users are searching for. This will be a great starting point. So let's say you determined that yes, I do need to enrich data because whatever people are searching for, my website is not generating those specific search results. So once you determine you have the need, you want to create a sample test. So you don't want to implement the product enrichment data for everything under your website, because that will take months, if not more, to do that. And your goal at this point is to just set up a test run to see if this will actually work for you. If you're spending all this time and effort and money to enrich your product data, is it actually helping you or not? So I would select a basic sample set, maybe 1, 2, or 3 product categories max. So there's a control set, so I can see if it's going to work or not. And then you set up a baseline. Like, how are you going to determine if this is working for you? So you look into, hey, when we used this type of search query, how many search results did it came? So as you saw in the previous one, you can say if people were searching for loose spring dress, it was only generating you 4 search items. So that could be your baseline that, hey, for this particular search query, I'm getting 4, 5, 10 results, even though I know I have like 100 plus item on our site. What is the click-through rate? So when people are landing on this page, how many of them are actually clicking on one of these items here? And then you want to look at the conversion rate. So when they have clicked on a particular item, how many of them are actually converting, which means how many of the users are actually buying the product. So these are you can have more metrics if you like, but these are basic 3-4 metrics that you want to start with. And then you want to look at what your success metrics are going to look like, which is going to be exactly the same thing. And one additional would be like how much additional revenue have been generated when the product data has been enriched. So you start with these baseline, you determine what your success metrics are. And let's say then at this point, you find a company, could be like Lily AI, Clarify, Villu, whatever those companies are, and you do enrich your product data for 1, 2, or 3 of your categories. And then you let it run for 4 weeks or 6 weeks, whatever time you determine. It will depend on how much traffic you're getting on your website. And after you have, let's say you set it up for 6 weeks, in 6 weeks, you go back and you see like, hey, has my click-through rate gone up? Which means when people search for those queries, are more number of people clicking on these search results? If it's gone up, that's a really good sign. Then you look at the conversion rate and the revenue generation. So when people have clicked on these search results, are they adding it to their shopping cart and are they actually purchasing the item? So this will help you determine if your revenue has actually gone up after enriching your data, your conversion rate has gone up after you're enriching your data. So if all these signals are going up by 2, 3, 4, 5%, especially depends if you have a bigger size, those 3% increase could result in hundreds of thousands of dollars in increased revenue. So if you're seeing that after I've enriched my product data, my search results have gone up, my revenue has gone up, then there's a really good sign that the product enrichment process had actually worked for you. So now this was your sample test and you determine the success or the failure of your test. And if it's successful, now you can go back, and in case of Macys, now you can go back and you start picking more categories and start enriching your data throughout your website based on different search results. So this will be a great way for you to test run to see if it's working for you and if you want to go across to your site. So this is how you enrich your product data and how you identify the need and how you run a beta test to determine the success. So thank you so much for watching this video. And if you have any questions, please do ask them in the comment section and do subscribe to our channel if you see fit. So thank you very much. Have a great day.